you're doing a loan application today, and I have to tell you, I've been asking these same questions for 30 plus years to consumers, but based on the environment that we're in today, like people take our mortgage questions that we're required to ask you, and there's such a different reaction to them. One of the declarations we have to ask you is if you have any judgments against you, meaning has someone sued you and you lost and they filed a judgment against you. But it's also like, very basic questions like, are you married or unmarried? And you get it from both sides, people that are married and unmarried. I'm just like, we have to know if you're married or you're unmarried, because in each state, that makes a difference. Then we ask if you have children. Same exact thing. You never know what someone's going through in their private life, if they're trying to have children and they can't, or if they have children and it's overwhelming for them. But we ask the question, do you have children? Because there are loans out there that depend on your family size. So if you are two parents and you have three children, that's a household of 5. The income limits for those programs is higher. The bigger your household, the much more money that you can make to qualify for those programs. That's why we ask, are you married? And then we have another section that is called the demographic section of a loan application. And boy, has this gotten out of control. It's like, so we have to ask you, are you male or female, or do you not wish to answer? We have to ask you, are you Hispanic or not Hispanic? And then we ask you, are you Asian, white, Native Hawaiian, Black, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't have to answer any of those questions, but I think that people need to understand, why do we ask those questions? We're asking you sex and your race because we have seen historically that some lenders will charge different demographic groups higher interest rates than they do to other groups of people. So there might be someone who, if I apply today, they lock me in at 6%. And if a female applies today, same credentials as myself, they might lock them in at 6.25%. The government monitors that. That is a big no-no. You cannot do that. And of course, the same with your race. So the government literally watches me, the loan officer, to see if I have bias in the way that I lock interest rates. And I have to treat everybody fairly to give them the best rate possible. But you have to ask those questions. You as the consumer do not have to answer them. And if you're face-to-face, if you're meeting me face-to-face and you decide not to answer the question, I have to guess. I have to guess what you are by visual observation. And I guessed one time, and this girl was I just could not tell if she was Asian, Hispanic, Black, white. I had no idea. So I just chose one. And when she got the application to sign it, she was not happy with me. And I had to explain to her, I'm like, I have to guess if you're in front of me. Now, if you're applying over the phone, I don't have to guess. I can just say does not wish to answer. But I think if people understand why we're asking the question, then it's not as offensive to some people.